Welcome back to another episode of the Paul or Nothing Experience. Today we're going to be getting ready to take the gearbox out to drop off to have it welded up. We're just here preparing to take the gearbox out. The gearbox is going to go down to Oz Track. Jonathan Hovey's going to weld up the diff for me so that we have a lock differential. One of the things you tend to, when you buy a second-hand car, you got to look close. Found a rogue bolt. It's got a home, it's just not in it. Thankfully it was on the right side of the air filter to not end up going on a little trip down here, but we'll make sure that goes back in on the way back. So we've already got a start on this. We've removed the battery in the airbox, disconnected the clutch cable, we've removed the starter motor, so we've got the 7 main bolts still in the gearbox, as well as the shifter linkage and one stubborn plug that I need to get out. So I'm going to jump under the car and get that shifter linkage out. I need to replace the bushings in that anyway. Let's see here the shifter linkage. Let's get that out. Quick update, guys. I've got the engine crane here just supporting the weight of the gearbox. I've loosened every bolt. I've only got 2 still in there. So once we've got it fully loosened, we'll just lower the engine crane down until the box touches the ground. Probably the easiest way, considering I'm on my own here this afternoon. So that went as smoothly as I could have hoped. Let's pull her out. I don't know too much about gearboxes, but I have a feeling that this thing shouldn't be falling straight out. Don't know. Quick tip here for when you're trying to remove a flywheel. What we're going to do is use 2 bolts, one from the gearbox and one from the clutch. Then we're going to use a spanner just to hold it firm so we can crack all those nuts. So we're going to go ahead. The gearbox bolt, which we're going to pop in here, like so. Pop the flywheel bolt in over here. This one in a little more. So it's in line there. Pretty much bang on there. So we've gone with a 17 that matches this side. To put that way. And now we're going to need to spin that flywheel so that cap. And then when we try to crack this one, we should have a bit of luck. Make sure that's on that bolt nicely. Might actually take that back a little bit. And just unwind that bolt a tad so that it's got a good mount. This isn't a flat. Let's go a little more. Alright. And you can see there how it's set up. It'd be better if you had a flat spinner as opposed to one with the bend in it. So I've had to wind this bolt out a little bit further. But as you can see, we've got all of our bolts undone there, just the last few on to pull off. It's a good little trick. So along with me being not sure if any of this is a good sign, I found this in the bottom of the gearbox, well actually the engine side, but just sitting in my little jackets. So I think that this is well and truly, I need a pull tool to get that out. So the clutch and the flywheel are out. The clutch actually still had a fair bit of meat left on it. It's not in too bad a condition. Not too bad. Flywheel, it's going to go off to be machined. So that's out, doesn't look too bad. Get that fixed up, I think that should be fine. They'll let me know if it's not. Gearbox, clutch and flywheel are out. Just going to give this a bit more of a clean up, maybe get on to doing the power steering boots, putting in the new tie rod ends, and we might see what happens from there. Maybe do the bushings on the white line sway bar, which arrived yesterday. This throwout bearing wasn't going to last much longer. So as you can see here, this is the shrapnel of what looks to be this retainer here. And then if you have a look down in the side there, you can see that thinner, what looks like a large washer, which is this guy. So that was a failure waiting to happen. It ran and drove, which is surprising, I guess, but this would have been still being engaging. It's just this was loose. So thankfully we're replacing this anyway. So here we have the flywheel just being dropped down at the local Penrith brake and clutch service to get the flywheel machined, and then we'll pick it up in a few days to get it back in. So we're just down at Racedeal, purchasing our helmet. Oddly enough, to get an extra large, we had to go to carbon. Well worth it. So we've ended up with this OMP HRC XL. Seems to fit me well. We purchased a steering wheel, 6-point harness with steel buckles, and we went with a Sparco RS7 race suit, which is in the same spec as this one on the right here. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Paul or Nothing Experience. Please like and subscribe. Join in next week where we'll be picking up the Gearbox flywheel and putting in the new CVs, and we'll get this back on the ground so that we can take it for a drive.